So, welcome to the last session of the day. It's been quite long, content-full, fun-full day. I hope you all enjoyed it. It's also a bit tiring at this stage. Okay, last-minute surprises. Anyway, I think you'll be relaxed to hear that we are reaching, I think, the most pleasant part of the day and the most enjoyable one, because it's all about giving out prizes and recognizing and celebrating the success of our colleagues who actually responded to our invitation to be creative and to find the best way to express what our values are for. So we now all have them in the room together with us. One of them is sitting on each table, so I would like to welcome you all. Very nice to meet you, for you to be here. Just for you to know, this is being streamed live to our colleagues, and I'm hoping rest of PwC is watching. So hello to everyone who is watching us. We hope that for the next hour or so we'll have quite an enjoyable discussion, which is also noise-free. Let's hope this will happen soon. So, before we proceed, let's, as during all the sessions today, start with a video, which is hopefully nice and inspirational.
Speak up for what is right, especially when it feels difficult. Expect and deliver the highest quality outcome. Make decisions and act as if your personal reputation is at stake. In other words, act with integrity.
Stay informed and ask questions about the future of the world we live in. Create impact with our colleagues, our clients, and society through our actions. Respond with agility to the ever-changing environment in which we operate. In other words, make a difference.
Make the efforts to understand every individual and what matters to them. Recognize the value that each person contributes, support them to grow, and work in the way to bring out their best. In other words, show that we care.
Collaborate and share relationships, ideas, and knowledge beyond boundaries. Seek and integrate a diverse range of perspectives, people, and ideas. Give and ask for feedback to improve ourselves and others. In other words, work together.
I believe it was Einstein who said that you can't solve today's problems with today's ideas. You need new solutions. So my challenge to you all is to innovate. And I mean to everyone. And I don't mean just a great idea like the drones idea we keep hearing about in Poland. I think there's a challenge to all of us. Whether you work in transfer pricing, whether you work in VAT, whether you work in RAS or audit or consulting or deals, be open-minded and come up with some ideas in everything that you do. Try and reimagine the possible.
Okay, some words of wisdom and inspiration shared by some of our country leaders. I think a very good beginning to what's about to follow. And how did these words, which most of us have seen on an email, as a video earlier, how did they resonate with our colleagues? And what was the great creative result coming out of it? In order to present their work to us, I would like to actually invite on the stage our winners, which are George, Ivana, Iliana, Edward, Gens, and Olivera. Please take a seat here in each of the chairs. So, welcome once again. The plan is basically for all of us who were inspired and impressed by what you did. This is how you came to be selected as the winners of this contest. We would like to get to know a little bit more about each of you, and also how you came with the idea of sort of creating exactly this picture, what it signifies to you, as well as any comment on the value, how you see that and how you live it on an everyday basis. So I would actually follow the flow of the presentation, and I think, Olivera, you're the first to to actually say a few words. So again, tell us about you.
So I get to break the ice. Does this work?
Yes.
Okay. Hello everyone. My name is Olivera. I'm TLS secretary in PwC Serbia. And when I saw, I asked my colleague to send me the definitions of all the values, and I thought that maybe the one that I chose suited me the best, because I'm very fond of crafts. I do wood carving, I make soap, I play with mud.
We get the picture.
And in each of those, you really have to, I mean, you get just a lump of clay and you really have to think what you wish to make out of it. So basically you're making something out of nothing. And that's, in my opinion, the biggest way to reimagine the possible.
So it is actually you who are making this pot.
Yes, this is me.
This is great. Think when we were discussing within the jury as to what the pictures are, this one felt especially genuine, because it's not just an image that someone has taken from nature or from observing something. It is something that one of us is doing with their hands. So it really sounded and looked very, very powerful. So congratulations, Olivera.
Thank you very much.
And I would like to invite on the stage to give the first prize to Olivera, actually our partner, who reimagined the possible in the video, and this is Pavel. So Pavel, please welcome on stage. Words of wisdom.
Oh, you want some words of wisdom?
Yes, beyond the ones that you shared earlier in the video. That was some time ago.
I mean, I'm not artistic, so it's difficult for me to relate in making something out of mud. But I suppose if I relate it to our business, and I suppose the purpose that we're talking about, making ourselves more relevant, I think this is probably what we need to maybe put out there. We need to reshape our business, don't we? So I think it's very appropriate. We need to reshape our business, become more relevant, and not just do the same old things that we've been doing. So I think we need to reimagine the possible and try and make something out of, you know, our current, I suppose, capabilities that we have. So thank you for the inspiration.
Thank you.
Of course.
In the spirit of partnership, may I add something to assist my fellow partner? Well, thank you very much, Ed, for English lesson I received so that I can speak freely now. But the moment I saw this picture, which, by the way, Daniel showed it to me by mistake, because that's not the picture I asked you for. When I saw it, I was wondering myself, what does this resemble me of? If you look at this, and those who saw the movie Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, it looks like the Holy Grail.
Yeah.
The Holy Grail that once you use it to drink water, you are getting immortal, or actually get younger. So I wish us all choose this Holy Grail that Olivera put in front of us, so for us to get younger, and yet, as Pavel said, to be able to reshape our business and keep it for as long as we will keep an eye open on other generations to, you know, carry on the Holy Grail. So that's what showed me this picture of you resemble.
Great comment, Jonas. Thank you. Okay, next one. Gens Bichoko.
Hi, my name is Gens Bichoko. For years I've been with PwC Albania in the assurance line of service. By joining PwC, I've had the opportunity to build a strong network, relationships, and lasting friendships. Teamwork is a crucial element in our day-to-day activity, and by sharing insight, knowledge, and skills, we are able to deliver the highest quality of work. The reason why my colleagues are forming the PwC logo is to showcase the fact that we are an integral part of PwC, and PwC is an integral part of us. Thank you.
Very well done, Gens. I think when we were looking at this picture, all of us felt that this was really the completeness and the greatest embodiment of us working together with all of those faces. Who are these people, your colleagues? Like, are they from different lines of service? Is it a team in particular that you have?
They're all cross-loss.
From the whole
lines
office.
of services. I've tried to include everyone.
Okay, this is
work
really
together.
great. Can I invite John, who spoke to us earlier in the video about the value we work together to give out the prize to Gens. Words of wisdom, John.
Words of wisdom, if I can be so bold as to provide a few. I think actually that's a creative way of saying how we work together, or how you see it, which is excellent. We talked about reimagining the possible. I guess we have to reimagine different ways we can work together, and there's no right answer to this. So anything somebody comes up with is actually valid, and we should look at it and give everybody else a chance to think about it as well, and come up with different ways of working together. But this is, again, one step forward, and I think all these bright minds here could come up with a lot more for us. So good luck.
Great, thank you. Eduard Maxim.
So my name is Edward. I'm a manager in assurance department in Moldova. Just some more personal information about me. Actually, wanted to share with you that I met my wife being on a secondment in Canada, and I found out that I'll be being on another secondment in New Zealand. So actually PwC had a great impact on my personal life and my professional life, so I'm really thankful for that. So going back to this picture and why we make a difference, it was quite a challenge to capture like a value in a picture. So the solution came when I enrolled in a charity run Pink, Moldova Pink Run, fighting with women cancer. And after the run, actually, it's me and another colleague from PwC Moldova. We said, okay, this is like an opportunity to capture one of the values. We make a difference, and specifically saying that PwC is a socially responsible company and makes the difference not only in the relations with the clients or its employees, but also society. And the society actually appreciates the fact that we are socially responsible. Thanks.
If I may comment on this, when we looked at this picture and why we opted it out of all the many that there were in making a difference, it was because, first of all, it had to do with an active engagement outside of the office related to a problem which is quite important to society today. It's a health issue that, as you all know, is becoming a big problem in most of the, especially societies in more developed countries in Europe and so on. But it also was quite impressive that we had 2 male colleagues running and participating in this initiative for a problem which is perceived more as a female. It is breast cancer, which is why we thought it is a great example of someone really not only making a difference but caring. Yeah. So this is what we thought. May I invite on the stage Emmanuel, who embodied in the video the "We Make a Difference" value, to give out the prize.
So I think we can just read that and we understand what this guy has done. And it's not only about serving our client, but it's society and building confidence by doing this kind of things. So well done. The second thing is ask for leadership. Can we have in all our partners meeting more of these people with us consistently on a wider scale, because it's refreshing, it's good for us, good for them. So, and ask for bonjour.
Okay, and Iliana is the Bulgarian winner on We Care.
First, let me introduce myself. I'm Iliana Dubrinova. I'm working as a finance specialist in the finance department in PwC Bulgaria for almost 10 years. Why I decided to take a part in this values storytelling contest? Because I truly believe that the values make a deep impact and determine the state of mind of every individual. The message I try to deliver to you with this picture is always to try to put yourself in someone else's shoes, to try to understand each individual, to discover his values and to draw up the best of them. As you may see, the ostrich and me are wearing the same outfit, the same sunglasses, also the same hairstyles. So we look similar, we try to understand each other. But there is also a hidden message in this picture, which I try to, now I will try to explain to you. Let me tell you some interesting facts about the ostrich. The ostrich is a very exotic and elegant bird, but his brain is very small. His brain is 2 times smaller than his eyes. But even his brain is small, ostrich uses 50% of the capacity of its brain. Just a little comparison, a man uses only 10 to 15% of the capacity of its brain. So my message is, try to increase the potential of your mind. Try to develop and to develop in each field.
When we decided that this is the picture that won our hearts and minds, it was also a lot about the sense of humor which Ileana displayed, but I couldn't have dreamt for a better explanation as to why the ostrich and the whole logic. And I don't know if you noticed, but how much this resonates with what we heard from Vanja Grbić in the morning about giving 100% or the maximum of yourself, yeah? So this is very inspirational and it's all about that. Thank you, Ileana, that you care.
This was my personal experiment.
Thank you. And Loretta, please, you talked about the care value.
Well, just congratulations. Care is one of the values, to be honest, that I like most. I believe is very genuine and very simple, but Ileana demonstrated in a very different way. I never thought about that. And the message of putting ourselves in each other's shoes is a great demonstration of this one. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Just to add something here, when we decided it was not very difficult, because to put yourself in the shoes of an ostrich, it's quite different. So thank you again very much for this, Ileana.
And we come to act with integrity. So, Ivana, please tell us about your thought process. Yes.
Hi to everyone. So many familiar faces to me. I believe that I'm also familiar to most of you. Ivana Manic in PwC since 2001, Belgrade office. Working in a position of a manager in compliance, risk and quality, ethics, independence. QMS as well, ISQC1, so that's my recent position. The picture has been taken while I was in Dubai on a secondment for 3 years. I was there for in the Middle East regional team, independence and risk and quality. And the picture was made on the day of the national day, actually, 44th national day of the UAE. And that was the plate of the sweets I brought for my colleagues, actually, to share. But I could not resist, you know, so I ate the most of them. And I think it's very important, you know, being and having integrity to say no to the tempting things. And some of the things in our lives, professionally and in private lives, are really tempting, and we have to say no if we want to keep yes, our integrity. So this is the small history behind this photo. Thank you.
I think this was one of actually the photo with almost no competition with Act with Integrity, because it turned out that this value is particularly difficult to come up with an image. So very well done, Ivana, and actually very well for sharing to us your lesson and your mistake of actually having it and then but learning from it. So this is really great.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I like to kiss.
3 times.
3 times.
You know, the last will be the first. So I tell you what I learned. To be honest with you, having such a picture to be able to represent Act with Integrity, you know, abstaining yourself from doing what appears to be easy in order to get the real benefit is something that was really well done. But to conclude, if you take a look from the beginning, when we are going to remodel our business and get that holy grail, each one of us in our hands, surrounded by the pictures of the people we work with, of our colleagues, solving and participating in solving important problems for the society, then we will be able to make a difference and for us to get younger in order to make our business immortal, our PwC to live forever. That's what I say for Ivana today and for us as a whole. Thank you.
And now the final award. It's actually the People's Favorite Award. This is the picture that was liked in Spark by the biggest number of our colleagues. And it goes to George Stan from Romania.
Hello, I'm George. I'm from Romania, and I am part of PwC transfer pricing team from Bucharest office. And in our office was big propaganda with the contest, and I decided to join the contest. And somehow we care. This is the value that represents me the most from the whole 5 values. And I remembered when I was working with Daniela on a project that she was showing me a magazine that where she was in her secondment to Belgium, and with an article. And she was so happy, so excited about that article, and I decided that was a good way to show that we care about her by taking that article and put it in a frame, so she can remember the actual transfer pricing team that she have now in Bucharest.
George, before we go to the prize, one question. How did you get so many people to vote for this picture? Was it propaganda or something else?
It was very good advertisement.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Something which is called the strength of a network. The picture was sent to her colleagues in Belgium. All offices in the Netherlands and Belgium voted for him as well.
So this is how you do it. Talking about strengthening our network, yeah, what we said earlier, Olga. And actually, may I introduce you to the stage to present this award, which in a sense is the culmination of today's prizes.
Congratulations. No present, I'm afraid, but I'm sure.
So, if you're wondering where there is a present, and the present is what? It's a weekend in a chosen destination in SE. So, in a way, this is the biggest present, but okay, it doesn't look like something that you could give. So, there is.
Super. Congratulations, George, to you. And actually, I wanted to say congratulations to everybody else. I think we are all touched to hear your personal stories, because I think behind each of those stories is the real you. And what I'm particularly pleased about is how you have showed us how you can actually bring yourself into work. One of the comments that we got when we started with values was that people kind of felt that values were for them at home in the private life, but when we came to work, we all had to be kind of, you know, the stiff professional that PwC expects us to be. And that couldn't be further from the truth. We actually want your talents and your beliefs and your values, because they are consistent with the firm's values, to come through. And we want to hear the real authentic stories. And as you said, you know, I think we shouldn't be ashamed of spreading the positive messages around, both within our territories and beyond. So I think what was really great with your initiative, George, is that you actually went out beyond the region and you looked for support, which is fantastic. I think we all need to do a bit more of that. So congratulations again to you and all of you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
And now, partners, the moment of truth is coming. We open the dialogue between our colleagues and also the partners. I will start with our colleagues because I'm sure they are having a number of questions about the values, about the exercise, about how they feeling and what they would like from the leadership team. So, dear colleagues, please, any questions from your side to the partners?
Do you have a mic? No?
Which of the values you feel most difficult to follow in your everyday personal life in PwC?
So this is a question to the full plenary.
Which
Or to a
values?
particular partner, Iliana, or to everyone? To everyone. So which is the value that we find most difficult to follow?
Any words of wisdom?
From anyone? Tamara, yeah?
So this is my personal view. So I think you know, working together, acting with integrity, caring, and making a difference is something that is already embedded. We're taking maybe a different perspective, a different look at those values, but they exist. But for me, reimagining the possible means getting out of your comfort zone, which I think is difficult for most of us. So I would say that one's the most difficult. It requires the biggest stretch from a personal perspective, but also I think it gives the biggest return.
Thank you.
Great. Anyone else, Paul?
I think, and it's not doing it, but actually getting people to realize is the challenges with we care. Because something I notice is within, say, the Romanian assurance partners meetings, we talk about people and the caring of people is evident. And then I look at the Romanian country level, we have partners meetings, and the caring for people is evident. And then actually today we've been discussing about this, and the caring for people is evident. What's sometimes a challenge is getting people to realize that, you know, as a partner group, we really do care about the people who work for us. And, you know, sometimes it's a struggle to get that message across. And, you know, I think if people sat in on the meeting today and we were spending a bit of time on the values, and you get the sense that we really do care, but maybe getting people to realize how much we care, that's a big challenge for us.
Okay.
Thank you, Paul. Yeah, I definitely realize that, for instance, in my view, that just to answer that, reimagine the possible sounds difficult at a different moment in times, and I will recollect with what we did with the executive team on trying to get you guys here, by the way, in supporting this entire exercise and feeling the sentiment and the behavior in all southern offices felt really, really rewarding. At the beginning of the exercise, in the first couple of weeks, there were 10, 20 Spark loadings. Then we said, guys, let's reimagine the possible, in fact, and see how many colleagues we can speak, we can share, we can discuss, we can practically give the benefits of understanding what would be the benefit of this exercise. And in the end, the limit of 100 has been reached, which was, in all fairness, the fact that you are all here, I think it's a proven real fact that we work together in a different way and we reimagine the possible with you guys being here. So thank you again for asking.
Maybe it's something I would again do a bit of a challenge. Each of the 5 is actually very easy. And each of the 5 is also very difficult. And I reckon the real challenge is not which is the most difficult, which is the easiest. It's, are we consistent in living them? And is there continuity? In other words, when we talk about reimagine the possible, do we do it during good times and bad times, when we're calm or under stress? And that's the real challenge to all of us, that we leave them on a consistent basis and that there is continuity all the time.
Thank you, Bojo.
Thank you. Marius.
Is there like any real life example emphasizing any of the values we discussed today which you would like to share with us?
To partners?
I would say something from, I think it was also the film example. It's from my personal life. I think Romanian partners know that I struggled 5 years to remain pregnant. After 5 years, I remained pregnant, and because I was quite old, I thought that it's the only child which I will have. And I come back to PwC, and I was actually proposed for the partner. And those of you who knows how difficult it is to follow all the partners exam, you can understand how difficult it was for me to find out that I'm pregnant again during my partner's exam. So when I become almost 42 years, I become a partner, and I have the joy to have a second son. So reimagine the possible. Everything is possible.
Thank you, Diana. Questions?
Okay, I can ask the question. We were speaking about the most difficult one, but can you list them by importance?
That is difficult.
Okay, Cornelia would venture.
They are all important. There is no single one which goes first. So we must have and have mindful for each one and single one of them. That's why we said there are 5. You can't go without the 5. They are all linked together, interconnected. You cannot leave anyone aside.
They're like the Olympic circles. They're linked. They're linked. It's not working, but I think everybody is linked. They're linked. Any of them is as important as the others. So you either do all 5 or none of them. And they pull each other. That's the process.
So this was a tricky question, but no one fell in the trap, huh?
Actually, we have one value. One single value, I would say.
Which is what?
Which is 5 values.
The 5
is
values.
Olympic
Yes,
5
pretty much
values.
this is the answer.
Yeah, in fact, we were discussing in the morning about the 5 Olympic rings, which relates to excellence, quality, and high performance. And related to what Cornelia was saying, embedding all 5 values into only one, and looking to those because they are anyway interconnected one to the other, it makes perfect sense. Because when you also started to do this exercise, we were also struggling in trying to put a number of Spark photos on different values. So a number of photos were relating to few values that were interconnected. So the questions goes perfectly with the fact that there is an unity on the values and interconnectivity between them.
The way I see it, it's in a way related. I mean, we have values, but at the end, what's important is what we want to do. And for me, what's important as a group of partners here, as in a group of people all together, is that we want to build trust in society and to solve important problems. This is why we have leadership in national organizations, being the AmCham, being the Foreign Investment Council, being professional associations, because we believe that we can build trust in society. And this is what we do on a daily basis, either through audit or other services. And also we want to solve important problems for clients, for people working for clients, and for people working with us and for us as well. So can you address this? Can you build trust in society, and can you solve important problems without any of these values or putting a rank? This is how I see it.
Thank you, Mircea. I think it's the turn of partners to put questions to our colleagues. Who'll go first? Paul.
Actually, first, just to echo what Olga said, I think great job, not just with the photos, but actually, I guess it's pretty intimidating being asked to come and sit here, not just in front of the partners, but in front of everybody. But you spoke fantastically well about the pictures as well, so really good job.
We're struggling with orchestrating the formula.
No, but really, you did fantastic. So maybe a question for yourselves, given we've emphasized the importance of this, is there some simple things or some things that you think as a partner group we could do starting tomorrow to better demonstrate our commitment to these values, or actions we could take, or something we could do to demonstrate to yourselves, to the other people watching, our commitment to these values?
Very valid question. So what do you expect from us, guys?
This is a unique chance to influence the partnership because we are actually listening now.
Actually, I just, 9 months ago, I returned from my secondment in New Zealand, and being 4 years away from my home country, I didn't actually saw such events like this one. So I really appreciate the fact that this one was organized, and we actually have the chance to speak and to know the values and actually to share them with our colleagues. So doing, I guess, more of this things will help us to make all our employees and people aware of the values we need to live and to obey.
Okay.
Thank you, Maxim. So this very exercise, it's a sign that we need to replicate something similar. These are just photos from the uploads on the Spark. Other questions, partners?
If you were to choose a different value and do a photo, which one would you go for? If you were to choose a different value and you do a photo, which one would you go for and why?
Well, I did choose 2 values.
Me too. This is true, yeah. Both of them were participating in more than one category.
Yes,
indeed.
and I did We Care, and I made a speech regarding that you shouldn't wait for the company to organize, I don't know, some events in order to help others. You should do it on daily basis by doing small things, because even the smallest things matter. So I finished it, I chose a photo of a snail on the pavement.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, and I said that even picking up that small snail and moving it away, you do something nice. And but the interesting thing about this snail is there was a heavy rain the night before, so I saw one snail, I moved it. I saw second, third, 50th, and then I came up to this one. It was nice. I took a photo and forgot to move it away, so it died.
Another value which I would choose, I guess, is we care. And we had like a situation this year on one of my projects. It was in February, so it was late at night. I was at home and I received an email from one of my colleagues who was on the client saying that one of the colleagues is in hospital, and they sent me a picture of like the colleague laying in the bed and another two colleagues, two girls sitting near him. So initially I uploaded also that picture, when I decided to take it out because like the girls were laughing and I wasn't sure if like everybody will understand the picture. In the end, like the guy which was in the hospital, he was okay, and the team actually showed great help, and they did care about him. Every day they went to the hospital, they brought him like, I don't know, milk or something like that. He was asking them different things. So the team was of real help, and I really saw that we do care not only during like doing audit work, but actually when difficult things happen to us.
I did posted a different value. It was working together. It was a photo of myself with an Emirati local person. We were both dressed up in their national dress. And I wanted to show a difference, a diversity, which is really, you know, we are really diverse company, diverse firm, diverse place, and we do accept the differences. And this is what I saw personally. I went to the very diverse community, to the other place. We had the 95 nationalities in the office, and we were still, you know, all together. So, you know, this is my really positive experience coming back from a secondment, working with such a difference, especially when there is a prejudice that a woman is in a different position, at a lower position. So that was, I was trying to show that kind of value.
Thank you. Thank you, Ivana. Filiana, you wanted to add something? Yes?
I will also choose the value working together, because according to me, working together in PwC is first, coming together is the beginning, then keeping together is the progress, and after that, working together, that is a success.
Nice. Very nicely put. Maybe we have time for two more questions. Yeah,
can I ask a question? If we say that you are the ambassadors of our values, what will be the first things you share to the new joiners if we ask you to make a presentation of our values to the new joiners? How would you explain to them why these things are so important? Or how would you explain that these things are perceived by this group of partners?
I can respond to that because that's my job, actually. I do the induction training for all new joiners on a code of conduct and our values, and this is, I think, the first training that they get at the moment that they step into the PwC Belgrade office. And we do discuss a lot, and because we mean it. It's not just tick the box, but we mean it. We do discuss, we give the examples, we allow asking questions and real life situations examples.
Ivana, thanks, but what I meant is if we ask the other colleagues who are non-risk management role within PwC, if they are invited to present what the values are within PwC, how would they do it, being so passionate about it and being the winners in this competition?
I think always a good example is to share your personal experience, because you get more trust when you can share what you live and what you believe in. And considering that, I mean, most of us have like more than 5 years or I don't know, like lots of experience in PwC. When you speak, they really can trust you. So that's one of the ways to go.
And the final one?
One final word of wisdom.
If no questions from the partners, maybe one more from you to them, like on a last note. I'm sure you all have something that you've prepared.
Not necessary.
I have a small question for Jon Simeon. I was panicking this morning and I was asking my colleagues what should I ask, and one of the entire tax managers told me, oh, you can ask Jon Simeon. He told us a great story about the value we care regarding a client with a sick child, and she said that it was a wonderful story and very emotional and really showed that we do care. So, and she couldn't remember all the details, so if you could just share it with us.
Yes, I have to say that this is this story helped me to understand the meaning of we truly care. I was attending a course and there was an UK guy and he asked us to bring a thing that will resemble something of our life. And I remember I took away the ball of a football pitch of my son, because in my mind that football ball represented fair play. And he forbade us to bring pictures of families, so that it was written, pictures of families. So we presented our thing, and he, the organizer, took out a photo. And he said, for me, the most important thing is this photo. Of course, we were going against him, but you said no pictures. I said, no pictures with families. And he showed us the picture of his client and his family. And he said, you know, I pitched for this client who was the CEO of one of the most important company in UK for 3 years in a row. Every year he was awarding the audit to Ernst & Young. That given year, we also lost the audit against the Ernst & Young. But a few months after, I heard about his son having leukemia and being in serious distress. He was completely trashed. He couldn't speak, he couldn't talk. And then it happened to me, for me to know a very good doctor. And I went to the client, to this guy, and I told him, look, I know somebody that can help you, somebody that can treat your son. So we took his son to the doctor, and eventually they cured his son. What that guy told to our colleague, to our partner, said, you know what, thank you very much for helping my son, and it meant a lot to us. Please come again and participate to the bid for the audit. So they submitted their offer, and without even opening, per se, the offer, he said, I award the audit to PwC. And then the guys told us the story, and he said, but how come I tried 3 years in a row, I was not successful, and now suddenly you don't even ask about the price, but yet you award to us this audit. And the guy looked in my eyes and he said, I don't care how much you know until I know how much you care. And because you cared about me, it means that you can care about my business even more. So it is not about the money, it is about what you can do for me. And that is for me something that I always carry, and I always carry with me and speak about it. And I try to apply in my life. I don't care how much you all know. I truly care about, until I know how much you care about me. That was the story.
Thank you. So thank you very much. Very inspiring
finale.
Finale, yes. We would like to, again, a round of applause to our winners. And thanking a lot to them for daring and doing this exercise. Congratulations, and we are stopping right now here. We will invite our winners into what is going to come, so 7:15 logistics.
To join us during dinner and so on.
The dinner.
Before we go, we should take a group picture. So don't
Before
leave
we go,
the room.
Before the group picture, I just thought, in a typical Southern manner, we will welcome someone late in the day. And this time it's only one person, so Maciej. I thought it's the most appropriate moment actually to say welcome to our new partner in Southern. So this is not just to strengthen our financial services capabilities, but it's to go beyond, because clearly he's someone living all the values, and I thought, well, now is the time to introduce him to all our colleagues, not just to the partners. So Maciej, welcome.
Okay, thank you very much, Bożo, for the introduction. I just wanted to say one reflection which I had about the values, about being here today. So it's like I'm a new person here, but actually I feel like I've been here for a long time, and I already can recognize 75–80% of the people in the room. And this is all due to the fact that I've been traveling, I've been reimagining the possible by spending 3 years in Romania and 2 years in Russia. So I'm very glad to be here and looking forward to work together.
So group photo, huh? Let's have a group photo. Very good.